High danger met with intense pressure. See how King County Sheriff's deputies dove into a risky situation with a canine ready to pounce.
If you run, my dog will bite you.
A missing 3-year-old and 3 decades of heartache for her mother.
It's just terrible. It's unspeakable.
It's a cold case mystery that started with a 911 call full of lies. A bump in the night as thieves bashed their way into a pot business. They covered their faces, but not their tracks, with a trail of clues detectives want you to see tonight in the Spotlight. Well, good evening and welcome to the Spotlight. Thank you for joining us. I'm David Rose. A fugitive sex offender is back behind bars after the King County Sheriff's Office Metro Transit Police Street Crimes Unit. Deputies and a canine unit made a high-risk traffic stop in Seattle. The suspect has a history of gun and drug charges and had cut off his GPS tracker. So deputies took no chances when they swooped in. A Chevy Cruze boxed in and backed over a curb. As deputies moved in to make the arrest, Canine Duke was there to help bark the orders.
Turn the car off!
28-year-old Peyton Smith came out with his hands up, and Duke helped persuade him not to run off.
If you run, my dog will bite you. Do not run. Get your hands on top of your head.
The handler then hoisted Duke onto the car's hood, clearing a hurdle in case this turned into a foot chase. Smith was wanted on a DOC felony escape warrant. Deputies say the registered sex offender has a long history of drug activity and the manufacturing of firearms. Their guns were drawn as Smith drew closer.
Keep walking towards me. Back up towards me. Here, get down on your knees. Down onto your stomach. Hands out to the side like an airplane.
With Smith in custody, a search of his car turned up drugs and gun parts.
A pistol slide on the driver's side floorboard underneath some tinfoil.
Deputies also found several license plates and another person's registration and what looked like homemade gun slides. With hands cuffed and pants falling down,
Hold on, pants up.
Smith was loaded into the patrol car while he wondered out loud why he was being arrested.
What's this about? Give me 1 second.
Well, Smith was convicted in 2024 for possessing depictions of a minor engaged in sexually explicit conduct. He's now charged with unlawful possession of a firearm and is being held by the Department of Corrections in the Score jail with a bail set at $75,000. Bremerton police are asking for your help to look at some photos to see if you are a victim in a sickening voyeurism case. First, these are photos showing the arrest of 48-year-old Brian Group on December 6th. He was caught several hours before the start of the Krampus Festival. Police say he was in a stall in the women's bathroom at about 2:30 in the afternoon when a victim spotted a cell phone camera appear underneath the stall she was in. She started yelling, which alerted her husband waiting outside. And when she told him what happened, he detained Group, who suffered a cut on his eyebrow from being punched. Officers commended her husband for his help and say when they got there, Group's fly was still unzipped, exposing himself. He told officers he went into the women's restroom accidentally. When asked how long he was in there, he said 10 minutes. Group tried to delete photos from his phone, but officers seized it. After getting a search warrant, they found these photos showing the feet of 4 unidentified victims. Look closely at each photo to see if you recognize those shoes and pants as yours. If they are, please reach out to Detective Diaz at her email. It's right there on your screen. Police do believe he has many more victims. Right now, he's just charged with the 1 case, but they would like to add additional charges if they can identify more victims. Brian Group remains in the Kitsap County Jail, where prosecutors have charged him with voyeurism in the first degree and resisting arrest. Tacoma police are searching for 2 suspects in a deadly shooting that took place at a house party just 3 hours into the new year. And we're hearing from the heartbroken mom of Gino Saunders III.
He had a beautiful soul. Sorry. He wanted to have a family of his own one day, and he loved doing music.
Well, she is hoping the community can help give her son a funeral service that celebrates who he was. Gino was a talented musician and was hoping to make it in the music business as a songwriter, rapper, and producer.
And I listen to their problems, but they never let me talk. A clear mind is all I want. Think I need to take a walk. Got my heart up on my sleeve, but I'm finna take it off.
Everywhere he went, he just made everybody smile. He had that warm feeling about him, that shine. He always stood out. No matter where he went, he stood out.
If you'd like to help with funeral expenses, we have a link to the family's GoFundMe. Just find this story on fox13seattle.com by clicking on the Spotlight section under the More tab. As for the suspects, Tacoma police are actively looking for Kai Brinson, seen on the left, and Aiden Finley on the right of your screen. If you know where Tacoma police can find either of them, please submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS or through the P3 Tips app. Surveillance video captured a burglary at a cannabis processing business in Kingston. Kitsap County Sheriff's detectives are asking for your help to identify the three suspects. Surveillance video from around 2:30 a.m. on January 13th shows the break-in at a cannabis business on Calvary Lane. The first suspect rushes in quickly, but the second guy enters much more cautiously several seconds later. The third suspect stands at the door with a cell phone and appears to be acting as a lookout. Video shows two of the men going room to room, kicking open doors. As they continue to ransack the place, you can hear one of their voices.
You'll take the rug. Get in here.
Video shows them carrying white bags of something and dropping them at the front door, where the third suspect was waiting. You get a good look at him as he seems to be directing them to continue searching. Detectives haven't said what was in those bags, but they ended up leaving without taking them. When they ran outside, a newer white four-door Tesla with black wheels was backing up.
Open the door.
They jumped into the car and took off. Detectives described the larger suspect as black, weighing 300 pounds. He was wearing a black hoodie with Palm Angels in Old English-style font on the front and a white skeleton on the back. The second suspect is also black, wearing a black mask, black hoodie, shirt and gloves, gray sweatpants, and white shoes. The third suspect is white and appears to have some kind of tattoo in the webbing of his right hand. If you can ID any of these suspects, please submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound through the P3 Tips app on your cell phone for a cash reward of up to $1,000. Bellevue police are trying to find a serial burglary suspect and working to identify his partner in crime. Take a look at these surveillance images. The detectives say show 33-year-old Dominic Alexander during a commercial burglary. He stands out because of his haircut, shaved on the sides, mohawk style. It's the same hairstyle he's sporting in this photo from last year when he was arrested and then released in Seattle. That may be why he's seen wearing a hat in one of the other commercial burglaries he's wanted for in Bellevue. Police say he stole approximately 250 laptops from a commercial building southeast of downtown in early January.
He is 33 years old. He is about 5'10", and he is an individual that we believe could be connected to a series of incidents that have occurred in Bellevue spanning all the way back to last summer.
And detectives are also asking for your help to identify this second suspect caught on surveillance camera with Dominic during one of the commercial burglaries. And they were driving this silver SUV that appears to have damage to the right side. In all of his prior cases, court documents show Dominic has had a partner in crime. In late 2024, Seattle police say Dominic and another unidentified man broke into a couple's storage unit by cutting through the wire roof before stealing multiple items, including 4 pairs of designer boots worth $4,000. Detectives caught him in a sting operation when he tried to sell them on Facebook Marketplace. He was released on $25,000 bail and then failed to show up to court. So a felony warrant was issued for his arrest for burglary in the second degree and trafficking in stolen property in the first degree. If you can tell Bellevue police where to find him or identify that second suspect, Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound will pay you a cash reward of up to $1,000, and you will remain anonymous. A man accused of repeatedly stalking a woman will remain in the King County Jail as he awaits trial. Ryan Van Adder was arrested by Seattle police and the U.S. Marshals on January 6th after I sent them a viewer tip with his location. The 33-year-old had been wanted since November 25th when he failed to show up to court for his arraignment. After his arrest, Van Adder refused to come out of his cell for the arraignment. So Judge Nelson Lee issued a drag order to force him into the courtroom. He pleaded not guilty to charges of felony stalking and 2 counts of felony harassment. Seattle police say he started sending the victim messages last fall, including one that said he was going to, quote, cut your throat or worse. Detectives say the harassment started shortly after he was released from jail for stalking the same victim who he used to work with. In the new case, court documents say he left 3 dead mice on her doorstep, broke out her window, started fake Tinder profiles in her name, and sent her a photo of a gun with threats to kill and a promise to rape her.
Nights are filled with nightmares of my stalker breaking in and trying to kill me, and my days are spent looking over my shoulder, hiding details of my life for fear that they'll get back to him and be used against me, to harm me.
Judge Lee ordered that Van Atta remain in the King County Jail on $250,000 bail. His trial is set for March 4th. The victim in that case was among those who recently testified before state lawmakers, urging them to take a tougher stance on stalking. House Bill 2510 would require the Department of Corrections to supervise anyone who is convicted of stalking and sentenced to community custody. Under the current law, the DOC is not required to supervise someone convicted of stalking, even at the felony level, unless it's a domestic violence conviction or meets certain other criteria. During a public hearing, the House Committee on Community Safety heard some powerful testimony from stalking victims.
He didn't have the criminal conviction record that would trigger guaranteed DOC supervision. So even though the fixation and stalking behavior resumed, supervision ended quickly, and my family and I were left alone with the fear and the risk. My stalker fantasized about throwing my children from the roof of their schools to exact vengeance on me.
And so as he chases me out of jobs and houses and entire neighborhoods, I struggle to get enough assistance to just survive while already being actively victimized. But if stalking was a mandatory supervision charge, this could never happen again.
Lawmakers also heard from a DOC victims advocate who says this gap in Washington law needs to be closed.
This is an extremely dangerous crime. It's very high risk. And this bill, it just provides accountability. It's not punitive. It just honors the promise that the system made and the agreement between the prosecutor and the defense and the judge that these cases need to be supervised.
If the bill is passed, stalking would become a mandatory supervision charge starting in June of this year. A cold case out of Tacoma is getting new attention more than 30 years after a 3-year-old girl vanished. Now police are hoping the public can help bring closure to a mother still searching for answers. Detectives say the story first told to them about her disappearance simply did not add up.
She's 3 years old, and I'm here in the grocery store. I was walking around trying to find her, and I haven't seen her yet.
How long ago did you last see her?
It's been just a few minutes.
On July 20th, 1995, Berlene Williams called 911 from a payphone outside a Target store in Tacoma. She claimed her great-niece, Lenoria Jones, had disappeared in the store.
What color clothing does she have on?
She has on a black laundry shirt with some turquoise pants.
But police would soon learn Lenoria never went inside at all. Target surveillance video showed Williams entering the store alone. When questioned, police say Williams' story kept changing. First the toy aisle, then the swimsuit section, then saying she wasn't even sure Lenoria had come into the store with her. Lenoria had been placed in Williams' care at her home on South Sheridan Street less than a year earlier, while her mother, Lenoria Jones, was jailed on a drug charge.
I was put in Spokane County, and I asked Berlene, because she had been a part of our life. My dad's youngest sister is who she is. She had been a part of my life, my cousins, and every friend around. She was the babysitter for the community and trusted.
Deidre says she spoke to Nori, as she calls her, by phone regularly.
She was always happy, always wanting to do something for the short time that I was in her life. So, free-spirited, very confident in all the little things she did, but yes, she was a happy child.
On July 18th, she says Berlene wouldn't let her talk to her daughter.
My gut just dropped, and I didn't know why.
2 days later, Deidre got the call no parent ever expects. Her daughter was missing.
I went crazy. I sent out pictures to every school in different states, wondering where's Lenoria, and still no communication with Berlene.
Then another story. Berlene told investigators 2 unknown men forced her to hand Lenoria over in an alley. She later admitted that story was also a lie.
I believe that she was trying to shift the blame from my cousins, who I believe took my child's life.
A neighbor told police she heard a disturbing exchange from Williams' home. 4 days before Lenoria was reported missing, she said she heard someone say, "She's dead, Mama. I killed her." The neighbor thought it was about a pet at the time.
It's the feeling that she suffered and not knowing how her life was taken.
Berlene's son was 9 years old. Her daughters were 20, 18, and 16 when Lenoria vanished. Detectives believe people inside that home know exactly what happened to the little girl. Berlene was asked to take a polygraph test. She refused, as did her daughters. As seen in this Tacoma News Tribune article from September of 1995, a judge ordered Berlene to return to court with Lenoria or show cause as to why she couldn't. On September 21st, he found her in contempt of court and ordered her to house arrest, writing, "I think Mrs. Williams has tremendous ties to her family and tremendous motive to protect her family to the extent that she's willing to engage in deceptive and deliberate subterfuge as to the whereabouts of the child." In 2024, detectives tracked Berlene down in Spokane, where she lives. When asked about Lenoria, police say Berlene became agitated. In his report, the case detective writes, "At one point, Williams said that she has made it good with her Lord. I asked Williams if she told her priest what actually happened. Williams shook her head up and down. I implored Williams to tell the truth, but it had no effect on her. Williams tried to treat herself as a victim, claiming how bad of a toll this investigation has had on her mental well-being. Eventually, Williams went back into her apartment and asked us to leave. Officially, Lenoria is still considered a missing child."
And I appreciate the attempt on the age progression, but it's nothing compared to what's in my heart and mind.
Given what they know right now, Tacoma police believe Lenoria is dead. They would like to give her a proper burial. Her mom says that's what she needs as well and would welcome even an anonymous tip that tells Tacoma police where to find her daughter's body. If you have that information, you can submit it to Crime Stoppers and you will never be asked to give your name. Use the P3 Tips app on your cell phone or go to p3tips.com. A group of thieves who ripped off a video game store in Spanaway were outplayed by law enforcement. Pierce County Sheriff's deputies were called to GameStop on January 24th. Workers told them 2 men came in, grabbed a bunch of video game controllers, and took off.
Did you see a vehicle at all?
Nope.
Okay. It's about $1,000 worth?
About $1,000, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go try and catch them, so we'll be back.
That deputy made good on his promise. After reviewing surveillance video, he identified a suspect vehicle. Yelm Police and Thurston County Sheriff's deputies helped track that vehicle down at a Shell gas station. Inside that car, deputies say several boxes of brand new controllers were sitting right there in plain sight. 3 suspects were cuffed.
We're good, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good catch.
Well, Tacoma police have arrested a man accused of repeatedly robbing elderly women. When officers finally caught him, they say he was poised to commit even more crimes, armed with a gun and wearing a balaclava. The Spotlight's Dan Griffin spoke with one of his victims.
I just called out to the Lord to please help me get through this.
Some might call it divine intervention. An armed suspect stopped and his alleged crime spree over. Nancy Lee says on October 2nd, 2025, her purse was stolen in a Fred Meyer parking lot in Tacoma. The heist was just like this one, caught on camera.
And all of a sudden, my windshield just shatters. And it was loud and it was scary. And I mean, I was just in shock.
Tacoma police say she was one of 27-year-old Nathan Lewis Smith's targets. Investigators tell Fox 13 News Smith was robbing elderly women, taking their cash, cards, and their purses while using a stolen car to get away.
I got out of the car and I screamed out loud, "He stole my purse," hoping that somebody saw something. Actually, they did. 2 cars down, a young lady got out, and she came over to help me. She saw everything.
Nancy says immediately after, about $1,000 worth of charges appeared on her credit card, apparently for gift cards. She reported those just as quickly. Her next mission, taking back control.
The next day or the day after, I went back to that store just for the determination that I was not going to be afraid. I went back, parked my car, got out, and went in and shopped because I did not want to be fearful in my life.
Tacoma police arrested Smith on January 16th. They spotted him in the parking lot of This Cash America in Puyallup. Investigators say he wore a ski mask and had a gun, and he appeared ready to commit more robberies like these. They say he'd led Pierce County deputies on a pursuit days earlier, going more than 100 miles an hour. Before he could do anything, police surrounded him. Tacoma police say he tried to get away, ramming police with the stolen car. Now he's in jail. Prosecutors say he's been charged with 36 counts, including assault, robbery, and reckless driving. Police tell us they aren't looking for any other suspects.
My husband's always wanting me to make sure my door's locked when I drive. I'm doing that more religiously now, and I'm thinking a little more about where I put my purse.
Now they're reuniting women with their belongings, like one woman's Bible, a special gift from her father. In Nancy's case, strangers reconnected her with her stolen cell phone. Her sense of safety is back too.
I'm glad he's caught. Honestly, I've been praying and asking the Lord to catch him, make him be accountable for what he did.
For the Spotlight, I'm Dan Griffin.
Tacoma police say they've recovered a number of items that still have not been claimed. They're asking anyone who was a victim to call and see if they may have your things so they can be returned. That does it for us tonight on the Spotlight. Until next time, I'm David Rose. Please stay safe.